Welcome to the award-winning Appalachian Moments podcast, produced by Germain Media. My name is Mickey Pruitt, and I appreciate you stopping by to check us out. In every episode of Appalachian Moments, we journey back in time and talking about old Appalachia. Today's show is sponsored by Life Story Insurance, and your host is Mr. Scott Ballard. Enjoy.
Thanks, Mickey, and hello to everyone listening all up and down the Blue Ridge. And to those folks who've moved far, far away, welcome home. In today's podcast, we get personal with the Virginia Creeper, but we also watch it leave the station for the last time. Even though the Creeper wasn't primarily a passenger train, it was always a thrill to ride to the next town, sit by an open window, dodging the black and gray cinders from the smokestack, and wave to people living along the track. The greatest thrill was taking the train all the way to the end of the line in Abingdon, Virginia. It was like going to the end of the world. Conductors helped passengers into the coaches of the train. The heavily varnished wooden interiors were lit by oil lamps hanging from the ceilings. A passenger coach on the Virginia Creeper was a great cross-section of humanity. Squirming children, ladies in colorful flour sack dresses, and working men in rough bib overalls filled the seats, along with gentlemen in top hats wearing their finest clothes, along with ladies in hoop skirts, petticoats, and lace-up leather shoes. According to engineer Fitzhugh Nichols, the opinion of people who lived along the line was very important to the railmen, who tried every way they could to accommodate them. In his words, we'd pick them up and let them off from just about anywhere they wanted. Occasionally, there'd be a gang of boys who might line up by the railroad, board the train in Lansing, and ride to Warrensville. They were told they could ride at their own risk, but at the end of the ride, they had to walk back home to Lansing, 3.7 miles. At times, some children actually rode the train to school. 4 pulls on the whistle would send kids running from the house to one of the many sidings built along the tracks. Some kids would put an ear to the tracks and listen for the train. They said they could hear the train through the rail long before they could hear the whistle. According to Junior Michael, his brother Butch brought ice cream on the train from Abingdon to the folks in Todd because they'd never seen it before. Maud Calhoun remembered what it was like to ride the train unaccompanied as a 10-year-old. In 1945, her father sent her to Bristol, Virginia to see her aunt. He put a tag on her clothes and introduced her to the conductor with a note of where to let her off the train. Different times. Many folks said the end of the Creeper as they knew it was in 1957, when diesel replaced the puffing coal-fired engine. But on the morning of March 31st, 1977, the train came to make its final pickups as the railroad was making less than a third of what it needed to keep the line open. When the caboose was leaving West Jefferson, the brakeman tossed out candy as folks waved goodbye for the last time. While most people lamented the loss of the friendly old train and its whistle, some felt betrayed by its coming and going. That while the wholesale cutting of Ashe County's timber brought money into the county, it also left the area denuded of natural beauty and in some cases despoiled. Hindsight is 20/20. Right-of-way from the railroad was returned to North Carolina landowners. Who knew of its recreational value? While from Abingdon to Damascus, most of the land is still private, the right-of-way is still intact. Thousands of people from all over the world travel to that area along the Virginia Creeper Trail to experience an outdoor adventure and retrace the tracks of that very special train. We'd love to hear more Creeper stories. Please share them on our Facebook page.
That wraps up another episode of Appalachian Moments, produced by Germain Media. Today's show was sponsored by Life Story Insurance with offices in Ashe, Allegheny, Caldwell, Surrey, Watauga, and Wilkes counties. Check them out online at lifestoryinsurance.com. Until next time, y'all have a good one.